Good afternoon. Thank you. Usually more than one person says good afternoon, but thank you. But we're going to try it again. Good afternoon. Thank you. That's the energy we like for Convocation. That's I'm here to see somebody graduate energy, not let's go to the library energy. Yeah, we're hooting. Oh my, we're hooting already? This is great. We're going to have a great day. My name is Sean Ferfaro, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics Convocation ceremony this afternoon. Oh yeah. Nobody ever claps there, and I wish they would. We're going to get along great today. So before I tell you a little more about the ceremony proceedings, I just want you to take a moment to identify the emergency exit closest to you in the unlikely event we have to evacuate the Convocation Hall for any reason whatsoever, okay? Very unlikely, we've never had to do it, but we always want to make you aware. For those of you in the bleachers, it's pretty simple. If we need to evacuate, you're going to head back up to the track level and just head to this door right over here. Pretty simple. Head for daylight. It's right there. The door is right there. For those of you on this half of the floor, emergency exit is in the back corner. You would go out that back door, continue into the back corner. There's a staircase that takes you to the same door. For those of you on this half of the floor, you have three options. 2 doors at the back, 1 door at the front. All of those doors take you to the front entrance where you came in this morning, okay? Under no circumstances, if we have to evacuate, go that way. There are no doors over there, okay? Big problem if you run that way. All the exits are marked with the green runner symbol right above. Now, back to Convocation. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in our Convocation ceremony. In order to allow full attention on Convocation, we would ask you to please silence your cell phones or any electronic devices that you may have on you, pretty much anything that could make noise. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs are hosting a social media program that they've developed especially for Convocation. We would ask you to please share your photos, your memories, and perhaps some advice with our new graduates by joining us on social media and using the hashtag #GuelphGrad. Convocation is obviously a time for celebration. It's an opportunity for all of us to come together to honor the success and achievements of our graduates. They've all worked so hard. You know more than anyone how hard they've worked, and it's amazing that we all get to share this experience with them. And shared really is the key word, right? We're all here together sharing a collective moment. It's a moment each of you will remember forever, and it's a moment each of our graduates will never forget. So I ask that we all work together to help create a positive atmosphere that both respects and celebrates this momentous occasion for each and every one of our graduates. No pressure. Thank you. Now, before our graduates enter for this momentous occasion, I think it would help for you to learn a little more about University of Guelph Convocation specifically, so have a look at this video.
Convocation is a momentous occasion and steeped in rich history. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. The gowns for baccalaureate and magisteriate degrees are black, with the hood color differing to represent each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have bright blue gowns, while the honorary degree recipients have red. The University of Guelph crest represents our institution's specific history. The stallion above represents our connection to the Royal City of Guelph, the book to the liberal arts, the astrolabe to the sciences, and the cornucopia, our connection to abundance and agriculture. The motto for the crest, Rerum cognoscere causas, is a quote from Virgil. It is variously translated to be either happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. Now to the ceremony itself. The procession of people into the hall is also influenced by ancient tradition. The graduands will be the first to enter, heralding the start of the ceremony. The graduands will be followed by the arrival of the mace, which will lead the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority of the university and will be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, a beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is the ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and mace is the Chancellor, the President, members of the administration and the honorees, fellows of the university, members of the board and Senate, and members of faculty and staff. The ceremony will be organized by college. We will begin with doctorates and magisteriates, followed by the baccalaureate degrees. The name reader will present scholars by degree category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. This moment will be captured, and there will be a simultaneous live webcast of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. Each student will pause at center stage, and a photograph will be taken. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your cumulative applause until after each group of graduates has crossed the stage. We assure you there will be an opportunity for truly thunderous applause before the ceremony ends. Once all the degrees are conferred and all the cheers are cheered, the Chancellor will close the ceremony and a recessional will play. We would ask that you please remain standing during the recessional until the platform party has processed out of the hall, and then remain at your seat for a brief closing announcement about the reception that follows and instructions on a phased dismissal. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Guelph.
Please stand as you're able for the graduating class.
Ani, we give thanks to the Creator. We acknowledge the world around us and understand our place within it. We acknowledge and offer our respect to the many nations that walked this land in the past, the many nations that walk it today, and welcome you to the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Anishinaabe. Sacred trust, we are the keepers of this land. She shelters and sustains us. Long after the flesh fails the spirit, we will care for this land. Our drums will be heard upon the wind, our voices in the rustle of the leaf. Our people have a sacred trust for the land, a trust no man may break, a trust that death cannot sever. We were here when you first stepped foot upon this land, and here we will remain long after the last step has disturbed your soil.
As an institution committed to learning, research, and to improving life, we are on a journey of transformative acts towards reconciliation. We acknowledge our role in strengthening relationships with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and in upholding our responsibilities as treaty partners and citizens. We know there's much work to do here and across Canada, and we're dedicated to taking these next steps together towards a brighter future. We'd ask you to please remain standing and join Amatida Sorabi in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
My name is Sonia Wu-Winter, and I coordinate multi-faith programs here on campus. And I offer our invocation this afternoon. As we gather today to celebrate these graduates, we pause to acknowledge the many stories that make up who you are and that bring you to this moment. We honor your early stories and the dedicated family members and friends who have helped shape you into who you have become. We give thanks for your University of Guelph story, for the many faculty, staff, classmates, and mentors who became part of your learning and growth at Guelph. We are grateful for the ways you have become part of the Guelph story through your presence here and contributions to this community. As you begin a new part of your story as a university graduate, may your experiences of achievement bring you strength and courage. May your stories of hardship and loss soften you to reach out to others with compassion and tenderness. May your experiences of being really heard and really seen guide you to reach across divides with that same attention, that same care. May the years ahead deepen your understanding of your own inner story, enabling you to engage the world around you with wonder and curiosity, so that as engaged citizens, creative leaders, and good neighbors, you may offer the full gift of who you are to the flourishing of our world. May peace be the story in our hearts and in our world. I invite you to be seated.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marianne Chambers, and it is my pleasure to serve as Chancellor of the University of Guelph. I'm a daughter of the Caribbean island of Jamaica. 49 years ago, my husband and I chose Canada to be our home, the place to raise our 2 young sons. I made a commitment then, as I do now, that we would be good for Canada, and Canada would be good for us. I have begun my remarks that way at more than 50 convocation ceremonies over the last 3 years. And whenever I have felt that it was time to stop introducing myself that way, there have been members of the University of Guelph community who have shared their own stories with me and told me how my story has reminded them that we all belong here. And each time that has happened, we have embraced what we have in common, even as we share thoughts of how our countries or regions of birth or our own life experiences might be different. Today, we are celebrating much of what we have in common, like our understanding of the importance of dreaming big and working hard to make those big dreams a reality, like the importance of believing in ourselves while supporting others during challenging times and cheering each other on with every little taste of success, like not taking our sense of community or our pride that we share as Canadians for granted, like recognizing that we are indeed stronger when we're able to rely on each other. With me on this platform are representatives of the university's senior leadership team, faculty and staff, and members of the university's Board of Governors and Senate, all of whom are here to proudly celebrate what our graduates have achieved. I am truly grateful for their dedication to the personal and professional development and success of our students. Here's just a small sample of why we can all be proud to be members of the University of Guelph community. The Lang School of Business and Economics has earned an outstanding reputation for graduating high-caliber, career-ready students. Employers in our co-op programs describe our students as humble, collaborative, and team-focused, and say that they make their organizations stronger. Lang tied with 2 universities in Western Canada for a ranking of #1 in Canada for hospitality education. Their newest programs include an in-person direct entry MBA, an online Bachelor of Commerce in Sport Management, a Master of Real Estate, and 2 programs in collaboration with the College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, a Master of Engineering Management, and a Master of Cybersecurity Leadership and Cyberpreneurship, both of which reflect the engineering college's commitment to equipping students for the evolving needs of the engineering profession. At the College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, Alexa Bates, a fourth-year environmental engineering student, was named one of Canada's top 25 environmentalists under 25. Emma Sanderson, also a fourth-year environmental engineering student, is now president of the Canadian Federation of Engineering Students, representing more than 85,000 students from 50 engineering schools nationwide. I've been truly impressed by what I've observed when I've attended the annual College of Engineering and Physical Sciences Student Research Day. Our scholars are brilliant, and they are learning from the best. Our faculty members are recipients of the top global awards in fields such as sustainability, food, water, and groundwater science, including the prestigious Biesel Research Award from the Humboldt Foundation, one of only 20 or so such awards presented to outstanding students, outstanding academics outside of Germany each year. Dr. Beth Parker has been elected to the US National Academy of Engineering and leads our new Morrowick Groundwater Research Center and its team of 45 scientists and engineers, faculty, staff, and students who collaborate with external partners on critical groundwater research. You might already know that 50% of the world's population, and 8.9 million Canadians, rely on groundwater for their drinking water. The city of Guelph relies almost entirely on groundwater. During an intermission at a Shaw Festival theatre production, I overheard a young woman seated behind me proudly reveal to the people next to her that she had studied at the University of Guelph with one of the leading cast members. The young woman behind me said, "Everyone knows about the Agricultural College and the Veterinary College, but few people know about the fantastic theatre studies program at the University of Guelph." So I wasn't at all surprised when my husband and I joined the crowd that filled War Memorial Hall last winter and thoroughly enjoyed the production of Little Shop of Horrors, a musical staged by the College of Arts. The philosophy department of the College of Arts also organized this year's Regional Ethics Bowl, where 11 teams from local high schools competed. The Ethics Bowl emphasizes impartial truth-seeking and promotes collaboration and empathy in the resolution of ethical dilemmas. We certainly know how important that is, especially in today's world. The College of Arts has just completed the first year of its new Bachelor of Creative Arts, Health and Wellness program. OAC, our agricultural college, which is ranked second in Canada for agriculture and forestry, has celebrated its 150th anniversary and welcomed Dr. David McCarthy, the university's first Canada Excellence Research Chair, to its School of Environmental Sciences. The focus for Dr. McCarthy and his research team in the Environmental and Public Health Microbiology Lab is waterborne pathogens, surveillance, prediction, and mitigation. This fall, OVC, our veterinary college, will welcome the first northern cohort students, through its collaborative Doctor of Veterinary Medicine program with Lakehead University. That program has been established in partnership with the Government of Ontario to address the significant need for veterinary care in remote, rural, and northern communities. OVC has maintained its ranking of first in Canada for veterinary science and ranks 6th in the world. CSAS, our College of Social and Applied Human Science, is providing subsidized mental health services to residents of Guelph and beyond, while also offering clinical training for students at our Maplewood Center for Family Therapy and Child Psychology. CSAS has launched 3 new master's level programs in mental health, psychotherapy, and relational and family therapy. CSAS faculty members' success rate for the 2024 Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council Insight Grant Competition success rate was around 70%, far exceeding the national average of 40%. CSAS graduate students are consistently successful in securing national and international scholarships, including the highly prestigious Vanier Graduate Scholarship. In the 2024-2025 academic year, the college was able to support students with $1.5 million in awards and scholarships. A large number of CSAS students are participating in various study abroad programs, gaining the kind of experience that will be of great value to them in their careers. Our College of Biological Science, CBS, is home to the world's largest DNA library. CBS's Center for Biodiversity Genomics collected its 15 millionth specimen this year. CBS hosted a very successful symposium for the highly prestigious Gairdner Foundation last June. The symposium explored the role of the microbiome in medicine and nutrition, as well as the impacts of culture and industrialization on our gut microbiomes. The Gairdner Foundation's global reach includes 102 Nobel Prize winners among recipients of its awards. CBS, and indeed the entire University of Guelph, also proudly celebrate Jaden Parker, a student from Bermuda, who will study biodiversity, conservation, and nature recovery at the University of Oxford as a Rhodes Scholar. When he was 13, Jaden's mother, who, as a single parent, raised him and his sister, surprised Jaden by enrolling him in a summer volunteer program at the Bermuda Aquarium, Museum, and Zoo. The rest, as they say, is history. The university environment helps us to learn how to learn, exposing us to life's challenges and life's opportunities. We must never lose our appetite for exploring and learning, whether in formal settings or in our day-to-day interactions with others. Maintaining a growth mindset will help us to dream what could be considered impossible dreams, and to appreciate the journey as being as important as the destination. There are many challenges that will continue to need our thoughtful attention, like climate change and food insecurity, global health, and geopolitical instability. Addressing challenges such as these is critical to the survival and sustainability of our planet. Artificial intelligence is for real, and it calls upon us to value the accuracy of information and how we use data, as well as the importance of ethical approaches to decision making. Graduates, I mention all of this to remind you that you are building upon a foundation established by high achievers from every college of this university. I hope you have a sense of what is possible. I want you to aspire to greatness. Most of all, I want you to make your lives matter, because our world truly needs you to do so. The world should be a better place because you have lived. As you embrace the joy and satisfaction of these moments and look with optimism and courage towards the next chapters in your lives, I wish you continued success. And I ask that you remember how you have gotten this far. I'm thinking about those who have cared so much about you and have often made significant sacrifices to enable you to dream big. So if you're able to do so, now would be a good time to stand, look around you and behind you, and applaud all who have helped you to get to this point. Thank you. I also know from conversations I've had with students that some have had to work hard under difficult personal circumstances to achieve their dreams. I admire and applaud the strength, resilience, and determination that you have all demonstrated. Not very long ago, you came to this university as students. Today, you're becoming alumni, forever cherished members of the University of Guelph community. I'm extremely grateful to members of our university community who provide advice, mentorship, opportunities for co-op placements and experiential learning, or financial support in the form of scholarships, bursaries, and other awards for our students. So whether you view life through a social justice lens, the curiosity of a scientist, the precision of an engineer, the creative spirit of an artist, or the mindset of a pragmatist, remember why you chose to pursue a post-secondary education. I'd like to believe you did so not only to improve yourselves and your prospects for the future, but also to improve life for others. So remain close to the University of Guelph, and if at all possible, please do whatever you can to help ensure the success of students who will follow you. This will always be your alma mater. You can be very proud of that. We are certainly very proud of you. I wish you the best always.
My name is Vicki Hodgkinson. I'm a very proud University of Guelph graduate with a master's degree in leadership and in arts history. Madam Chancellor, upon the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is a great honor to present to you the candidate, Marva Bailey Wisdom. To receive the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Ms. Bailey Wisdom is a national leader, community builder, and lifelong advocate for justice and inclusion. She has dedicated her career to advancing equity and amplifying the voices of Black communities across Canada. A visionary collaborator and strategist, she played a central role in the Black Experience Project, a landmark multi-year study that revealed the complex realities of Black life in the Greater Toronto Area. Its findings continue to influence policy development and equity strategies at all levels of government and across institutions nationwide. As a senior fellow of the Munk School of Global Affairs and Public Policy, she mentors graduate students preparing to lead in complex global contexts. She also co-directs the Arts Everywhere Festival in Guelph, which convenes international, national, and local artists to explore the urgent issues of our time, including climate crisis, social justice, and indigeneity, all through the lens of art and dialogue. Her leadership helped preserve a historic Guelph church, once a sanctuary on the Underground Railroad, as a living cultural and historical site. Madam Chancellor, for her enduring impact on public life and her unwavering commitment to social justice, I ask you to confer upon Marva Bailey Wisdom the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is my great pleasure to admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws. Congratulations. Let's take a photo. Grant is director. So another photo. I now invite Dr. Marva Bailey Wisdom to deliver the convocation address.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, University of Guelph leadership. Thank you, students. Bonjour, Chimigwech, Chancellor Chambers, President Van Acker, faculty, my nominators, honored guests, scholars, family, friends, and hello, graduating class of 2025. Are you happy here today? I accept this conference on behalf of each person who has walked with me, believed in me, challenged me, and held space for me to grow. to make mistakes, to learn, to fall, and to get back up again. And it is with profound humility that I thank you and acknowledge my parents, Edward and Eva Bailey. Mom is here with my amazing siblings and their partners giving back in their own brilliant way. My dad is at home, but I know he's in high spirits despite his dementia. At 41 and Mom at 35 years old, they left Jamaica for Canada, motivated by the stories we heard, echoed across this world. These stories were Canada, a land of immigrants building a country. What they and many others did not hear are the stories and the truth of First Peoples safeguarding this land, its waters, its trees, its resources. What we did not hear is the importance of adapting to live peaceably so that we can avoid a climate catastrophe. What we did not hear are the atrocities of residential schools, marginalizations, and assimilation. But whether we are first, second, or seventh generation Canadians, we have now heard these stories. And we are now armed with knowledge and opportunity to engage in actions, to right wrongs, to compel governments to honor treaties and land rights, to listen and learn from Indigenous elders, leaders here in Canada and across the globe. Because this glacial pace forward toward fairness, justice, peace, and healing is unacceptable. I am grateful that the University of Guelph has continued to work along this path, and let us together pledge to continuously learn and act in the spirit of truth and reconciliation. As well, I accept this honor on behalf of the many in our communities whose experience could fit this excerpt from Audre Lorde's poem, a book that my sister gave me. I'm paraphrasing a bit here when she says this. There's a timbre of voice that comes from not being heard and knowing that you are not being heard, noticed only by others who also are not heard for the same reason. And you can look around at each other today and think about the people who are really providing the opportunity for you to be heard. Mine started with my mom. And when you think she's not listening, she is listening. She's hearing you, and she is taking action even before you know it. Her strength and sacrifice stitched into every step we take in a world that was not always as welcoming as we would like it to be. And graduates, I know you have people in your lives that have helped you get here today, those who allow you to speak, to be heard, to be listened to. My heart, my children, Dustin, Christelle, and Marcel, carving their own inspired paths, and granddaughters over there, they're sitting still right now, but we'll see what happens later. I do this for them. They remind me of why I do what I do. My Aunt Lynette's unconditional love from birth. She tells me about it all the time, and I appreciate it. I'm not gonna say from birth to what age, even if you're questioning. We can talk later. My late great-grandmother and my late grand-aunt, Mrs. Boyd, who at 75, while she was Justice of the Peace, she came to visit us in Canada. She was still running foot races when she visited. Their stories, rooted in my Jamaican heritage, are not mere footnotes. They're an integral part of my journey, a journey that intersected with different paths and loving, kind, giving people sitting here today who serve, and many of you know who you are. I see Brenda over there, and Robin Lee. This journey also led me back to school right here at the University of Guelph to obtain a Master's of Arts in Leadership. Graduates, I don't have to wax on about how challenging academic pursuits can be. You've done it. I can share, though, that my experience returning to school as an adult was humbling. I remember one night quietly crying when I misread the paper's instructions. I thought I finished my paper. I was so excited. I had to catch an early morning train, preparing to go to Ottawa. I was addressing a policy conference. And as I looked over, and the tears started flowing when I realized my error, I was berating myself, and I repeated, I cannot do this. I really can't do this. And I don't know if any of you relate to that. But in those quiet moments, you remember why you're doing what you're doing and the opportunity that you have. The lessons along the way for me was that learning is lifelong, and leadership is not a destination, but a practice. One requiring courage, collaboration, and the willingness to begin again. And I know that there's some adult students here who came back, beginning again. This leg of my journey connected me to community more profoundly, gave me a better understanding of self and how I wish to serve. This service led me to leadership roles for 2017, when in 2017, the Black Experience Project of the Greater Toronto Area was released, a 7-year study led by Environics Institute for Survey Research, founded by Michael Adams, who's here. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Marianne, for being here and for the opportunity. BEP was where we listened to stories that too often went untold. Where I heard familiar stories. The anecdotal became a jumping off point for information and trust building, leading to empirical research where the data dictated the change that was and is necessary. Where the team heard phrases like, navigating systems not built for us, finding identity in struggle and celebration, reimagining how to thrive despite inequities. The team heard, nothing about us without us. The intent of the research in part was not just convey the challenges, but the assets and possibilities of a community. As one advisor, Dr. Wendell Ajay, shared, a community pressed upon itself. The outcome in part has been empirical data accessible to the community, its organizations, as well as policymakers. Lending voices to young people, amplifying their voices and their role in sharing their aspirations for the future. These young people asked the questions, listened to the answers, recorded the information, rallied with the community, many of whom have gone on to lead and excel in their respective areas of practice. And you as graduates are primed for your own leadership path. You're stepping into a complex world, as Dr. Chambers said earlier, a world of challenge, a world of possibilities. You don't need to have it all figured out, but you need to ask, who's not at this table? Whose voice is missing? What systems are being upheld, and whom do they serve? Your leadership path will mean holding space for yourselves, for me, as I age, for others, for different, for diversity, for inclusion, and for belonging. Leadership is in the listening, in the showing up, sometimes quiet. And do not let anyone convince you that leadership is charisma without compassion, inspiration without integrity, emotion without empathy, power without responsibility. Graduates, you can be comfortably uncomfortable outside of your comfort zone, calling in leaders that you know can do better if we are to thrive. We have experienced leadership that excludes, harms, debases, marginalizes, lacking empathy and compassion. Let's not wait until their damage becomes irreparable. Continue or start to become civically engaged, because change starts now. Dr. Gabor Mate, Hungarian-Canadian physician and author, in his book, The Myth of Normal, writes that whether we experience another's pain so vividly, entry-level compassion does mean the ability to be with suffering. It also means to be moved by the awareness that someone is struggling. There are leaders who can be reached, who are open to learning, many of them here, and unlearning, those who understand and support systems that lift each other up. And then there are those who will never acknowledge, recognize, or understand how their hurt becomes our pain. As you figure this all out, know that you do not need permission to lead. And let me suggest that knowing oneself, one's motivations, one's wounds, one's healing, and one's purpose is a part of our leadership exploration journey. And when you feel ready to step into leadership with degree in one hand and in the other, your presence, your insight, your compassion, your empathy, know that these are a part of your credentials. These are your strengths. Be leaders who hold space, not just power. Bring your full selves, your heritage, your hustle, your heart. And as you and your loved ones hear your name today, especially this month as we celebrate indigeneity and pride, walk proudly across the stage, receive your degree, and like my Auntie Boyd at 75, start your run with empathy and compassion. Build your legacy, measured by the lives you have lifted. Run toward a future worthy of your leadership gifts. Congratulations, class of 2025. Chi miigwech, and as we say in Jamaica, what good.
My name is Jade Ferguson, and I have the great honor of serving the university community as the Assistant Vice President, Academic Equity and Inclusion, a position that has emerged in the wake of the important contribution of leaders such as Dr. Bailey Wisdom. I'm sure our ancestors are smiling now as they see their wildest dreams realized. Thank you, Dr. Bailey Wisdom, for your inspiring words of living and being in relation with each other and the more than human world. Thank you for calling on all of us to pledge to make a more just world, a better world for all of us, one story, one truth at a time. Graduates, now is the moment you have been waiting for. Will the graduating class please rise? Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Will members of the graduating class please be seated?
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Holmes, and I'm Director for the School of Hospitality, Food, and Tourism Management in the Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics. You're all here today graduating from the Lang School of Business, a business school that does things a little differently than business schools. Of course, our graduates still graduate with the first-rate business acumen that comes from a business and economics program, learning critical thinking skills, collaboration, and leadership. But more importantly, we strive to develop leaders that embody the mission of business as a force for good. We develop leaders that not only look for profits and profitability, but also look to the people and the environment in which those businesses take place. Graduates, we're so very proud of everything you have done during your time here at the University of Guelph, and we hope you take everything you've learned here and everything you do here into the world and do good, as you've done here with your fellow students and classmates that you're graduating with today. Parents, aunts, uncles, friends, and relatives that are sitting here today, you've helped them to achieve these outcomes. You've been there to support them, you've been there to encourage them, and to probe them on. Now, I do want to remind you that as they cross this stage today to accept their degrees, please keep your applause to a minimum so we can hear everyone's name. With that, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the baccalaureate students from the Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics, that they may be presented with their various and several degrees.
Graduating from the Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics with the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Mingza Marcellus Lee. Alexander Kyle Meek. I need to go first. Oh, wait. Tessa Lillian Nielsen. Please join me in congratulating all of our doctoral graduates from the Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics. Graduating from the Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics with the degree Master of Arts. Tapabrata Chakraborty. Dumebi Ogochukwu Unkonye. T.Q. Trang Pham. Carter Swomi Lonsdale. Cameron Van Heswick. Graduating with the degree Master of Business Administration. Soo Young Sun. Graduating with the degree Master of Professional Accounting. Kaylin Rose Becker. Gershon Dhaliwal. Lydia Heslett. Shannon Remedius. Nicole Adrienne Sanchez Jaramillo. Brianne Kate Vrolik. Graduating with the degree Master of Project Management. Mary Eniola Adebayo. Farnak Amadi. Grace Chinyeri Amadi.
Kofi Anane Frimpong Asare. Olumide Samuel Ayanlola. Adedayo Aziz Bello. Gideon Can Tamaklo. Brent Ohene Darko. Samuel Doe. Isa Ogenekaru Charles. Sukanksha Peter. Benjamin Aubry Gian. Kwaku Joffrey Jinai Mensa. Joy Ifiani Chukwu Ijezui. Jennifer Jolly. Jesse Kennedy. David Conlan. Lydia Manu. Chibuikem Madukwe Melvin Onyabo. Clarissa Otu Larea. Francis Kojo Kwanzaa. Yumna Shahid. Farzane Shajui. Graduating with the degree Master of Science. Cecilia Agyakam Boateng. Alyssa Anissa John. Anthony Lawn. Brock McKenzie. Elul Ozekes. Ali Pursaburi. Armin Rahimi. Please join me in congratulating all of our magisteriate graduates from the Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics. Graduating from the Gordon S. Lang School of Business and Economics with the degree Bachelor of Arts Honors Program. Jack Humphreys. Phyllis Issei. Michael John Niehaus with distinction. Landon Corcoran Ursulak. Rona Velia with distinction. Graduating with the degree Bachelor of Commerce. Aryan Afsharpur. Noah Aguiar. Mushtaba Ahmad with distinction. Patience Akankwasa. Joshua Osamudiamen Akigbe with distinction. Ari Jacob Alacorpi with distinction. Alexander Alsas with distinction. Naomi Esther Amanyevo. Vanessa Anzaldi. James Ronald Appel. Melanie Arias Proenza with distinction. Caitlin Margarita Armstrong. Arlene Asika. Soha Ayaz. Nathan Edward Jason Baggs with distinction. Natasha Barami with distinction. Madeline Barros. Aman Balu. Alina Baranova with distinction. Tiana Catherine Barber. Anna Lisa Bernardi with distinction. Timothy James Alonzo Blackmore with distinction. Caitlin Boyd with distinction. Joseph Brancati. Christian Braca. Tammy Bui. Haley Burgoyne. Ariel Saul Bourlet. Gracie Burris with distinction. Manuel Cabrera Curbelo. Kathleen Calzonetti with distinction. Claire Camilleri. Taylor Louise Cantwell. Blake Adam Brennan Carson. Brianna Casey with distinction. Sydney Chalmers with distinction. Madison Laura Cheney with distinction. Mai Aurelia Chin. Ethan David Cho. Taylor Chora with distinction. Natalie Chu. Caroline Clayton with distinction. Margaret Clowater with distinction. Brandon Compta. Carter Gordon David Cooling with distinction. Kamal Cooper with distinction. Davida Cordero. Fraser Cullen Craig. Oliver Crines with distinction. Willow Lorna Cunningham with distinction. Grant Michael Cusack. Adina Dagan with distinction. Ethan Da Silva. Danielle Davis with distinction. Dania Santos Diaz Avedo. Alexandra Della Cuesta. Tucker Allen Michael Delaney. Daniel Del Conte with distinction. Aiden James Dermott. Bismeet Singh Dhaliwal. Charndeep Singh Dillon with distinction. Ryan Michael Dimitrov. Alexander Duval with distinction. Eric Downs. Leo Dubal. Victoria Sophia Dupak. Tristan James Elkin with distinction. Katie Elliott with distinction. Owen Ellis with distinction. Kyle Esmail. Tyler Esmail with distinction. Ethan Jack Evans with distinction. Braden Evinu with distinction. Dylan Farrow. Lashini Bernadette Fernando with distinction. Emma Finch. Gabriel Stephen Fleming with distinction. Joshua Flewitt. Justin Fortuna with distinction. Charlie Francis with distinction. Kyle Evan Boston Frappier with distinction. Liam Fraser with distinction. Peter French with distinction. Emmeline Alexandra Fudge with distinction. Jack Gill. Kunwarvir Gill. Ethan Govea. Maya Grabowski. Jacob Graham with distinction. Ryan Christopher Grant. Abigail Victoria Margaret Gravel with distinction. Cale Daniel Greenwood. Akiran Greywall. Madeline Victoria Gersick with distinction. Carter Patrick Guernsey. Sartak Gupta with distinction. Andreas Hallinan. Scotia Grace Hamilton with distinction. Laura Lynn Hand with distinction. Jacob Hain. Benjamin David Hennig with distinction. Emma Ann Henschel with distinction. Jack Hodgins. Ryan Hogan. Joshua Rossiter Holman. Quinn John Alexander Hooton. Caitlin Lee Hubahib. Emma Humphrey with distinction. Ethan James Hunter. Kaya Hushilt. Gordon Hutchison with distinction. Avery Hijack. Marina Rose Urulo with distinction. Peter John Francis Iliopoulos with distinction. James Jackson. Jessica Danielle Jacques. Malcolm Jakes. Nastasia Sofia Javni. Eric Jaron. Cameron Jeffries. Christopher Bruce Jenkins. Sam Harrison Job. Caroline Rose Kelly with distinction. Megan Kempton with distinction. James Key with distinction. Harshal Karbanda with distinction. Arisha Kuram. So-won Kim. Ella Grace Kleinknecht with distinction. Victor Kwame Yovo Kondo Jr. Drew Kosak. Caitlin Suzanne Kozak. Ivan Kresic. Lauren Olivia Laduca. Miles Winton Lafoucade. Jamie Lavalle with distinction. Fiona Yunchen Lee. Erica Madison Lewis. Beck Youngberry. Nicholas Lowe with distinction. Karina Loischik. Catherine Longo with distinction. Kayla Lonegro with distinction. Michaela Grace Lucetta. Madeline Clara Lucy Cooker. Benjamin Petri Louis Tikkanen. Jenna Macy. Farron McGilvery with distinction. Tyler Allen McInnes. Chloe McIntyre with distinction. Cameron John McPherson. Samip Magoo. Adriana Grace Malpas. Nipul Manaku Wadumestri with distinction. Autumn Manning with distinction. Stephen Markham. Joseph Mara. Jonathan Robert Martin. Torin Martin. Megan Alana McEwen. Michael David McKnight. William Lee Meng with distinction. Nicholas Kielt Metcalf. Mateus Peter Metzger. Talia Microgiannakis with distinction. Caitlin Grace Miller with distinction. Jack Dario Miller. Caden Andrew Mills with distinction. Robert William Mills. Dylan Millward. Mason Manili. Ryan Morantz. Jacob Morgan with distinction. You lost your card? What's your name? Yeah, we're good. Vittorio Morganti. Joseph Conrad Morin with distinction. Daniel Morrow. Benjamin Morris with distinction. Mitchell Charles Morrison with distinction. Ryan Morton with distinction. Nick Mungar. Carter William Murray with distinction. Christine Adelina Murray. Hannah Mutik with distinction. Matthew Mishkovsky. Bradley Nagel. Marie Jose Navarrete. Sarah Ann Elaine Nesbitt. Just before we continue, I just want to acknowledge when I was changing pages before, I forgot the with distinction on two of our graduates who I would like to acknowledge right now. Suwon Kim with distinction, Alexandra Della Cuesta with distinction. Apologies for the oversight. Ryan Jonathan Neufeld. Josh Brandon Newman with distinction. Noah William Robert Neimer with distinction. Jake Nurnberger with distinction. Evan Nugent. Connor John O'Brien. Jonah Orlandi. Joshua James Orr. Nicholas Paul Paranich with distinction. Madison Perrette with distinction. Matthew Peters with distinction. Nicholas Michael Petinarelis. Emily Petru. Brianna Pantavong with distinction. Alexis Pike with distinction. David Joseph Pila with distinction. Keely Samantha Peon. Sean Liam Plunkett. Januse Polinar. Marco Poloni. Kirsten Nicole Pratt with distinction. Johnny Protopappas. Mackenzie Prue. Christian Qualia with distinction. Zion Rackman. Simerjeet Kaur Rai with distinction. Supreet Rai. Grace Ramzel. Manpreet Ratan with distinction. Bryce Ron. Cassidy Reed with distinction. Regan Riley. Madison Nicole Reimer with distinction. Brian James Richardson with distinction. Ryan Ross Rieger. Alan Walter Romagnoli. Julia Rotondi with distinction. Catherine Rosina Rubino with distinction. Jenna Sagar. Abigail Sandford with distinction. Mirembe Shiel with distinction. Kaya Schilte with distinction. Adam Skolny. Matthew Schmidt. Julian Schneider. Mackenzie Eleanor Scott with distinction. Alexa Siegel with distinction. Konstantin Semenov. Jamie Shewell Shepard. Alexa May Shields with distinction. Gabrielle Brianna Shields with distinction. Matthew Seeger with distinction. Manav Singh with distinction. Kenneth Sotiriou with distinction. Sophia Spadafora with distinction. Savannah Taylor Speed with distinction. Gobihan Srirangan with distinction. Maya Asha Srivastava. Julia Stokowski with distinction. Aiden Stannard with distinction. Ilan Steklov with distinction. Walker Stoddart. Evan Bruno Stodulski with distinction. Stacy Stout. Jordan Lee Strasberg with distinction. Sophie Hannah Susnick-Foxen. Stephen Imre Zepp with distinction. Alexandra Tahir with distinction. Ali Tanweer. Alex Tate. Joseph Terenzio with distinction. Ryan Thomas. Alexander Thorne. Sophia Thierry with distinction. Braden Tizard. Emily Tomlinson. Henry Clayton Toth. Thomas Zoltan Toth. Dylan Uthimavadu. Ibrahim Vakil with distinction. Emily Grace Van Kessel. Jacob Van Nieuwenhuis. Laura Catherine Van Orman. Connor John Van Wyck with distinction. Lauren Vermis. Gaetano Vernal with distinction. Katarina Von Holt with distinction. Robin Vu. Kainat Wali. Mason Ray William Walton. Callum Watson with distinction. Jesse Widrich. Daniel Joseph Wilson. Thomas Ray. Carolina Wu Wu with distinction. Ethan Yee with distinction. Danielle Young Vermew with distinction. Jenna Zenobio. Sinwo Zuo with distinction. At the beginning of the ceremony in that opening video, the voice in that video, which was me, said there would be a moment for truly thunderous applause. And this is that moment.
Madam Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduands listed in the program but unable to be present at this ceremony.
So by virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduates not present.
Well, thank you everyone for your stamina, and graduates, we're just about there. My name is Rennie Van Acker, and I have the privilege of being the interim president and vice chancellor here at the University of Guelph. And it's an honor for me to be here to help celebrate you, our graduates, in the class of 2025. And as we near the close of today's celebration, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the incredible journey you've all been on and to say thank you. Your time here has been marked by growth, challenge, discovery, and more than a few unforgettable moments, I'm sure. You showed up for each other, maybe offering notes from a missed class, quietly sharing study space, bonded together by caffeine and deadlines. You may become regulars on the bus, early mornings, maybe half asleep, late nights, half frozen. Some of you may be remembering pulling all-nighters, maybe in the library, in the McLaughlin Library, or maybe you were shocked awake by the buzzer that announces the close of that building. You've probably made friends along the way that now feel like family to you. You danced during O Week, painted the canon, maybe became a trivia night regular, even if your team never quite figured out the lyrics to any song prior to 2005. You worked hard and played hard, and while I could keep listing all the moments that make up your time here, we thought we'd show you instead.
Your time here wasn't just about the work, but we know there was lots of that. Lectures, labs, papers, and study groups. And it wasn't all about the fun. But we know there was lots of that. It could have been more about the people. The roommates, the friends, the professors, and classmates. But what we know for sure is, your time here was about you. Do you remember who you were that first day? You were definitely younger, maybe a little nervous and excited. You were trying to figure out where your next class was, what the next week would look like. And slowly, you conquered course after course, completed each semester, each year. It wasn't easy. For many of you, it wasn't even linear. But you're here. So how did you change? Along the way, you made friends.
We're going to the Frosty Mug.
You might have even fallen in love. You learned how to take care of yourself, whether it was making a meal or managing your bills. You certainly learned how to manage your time. Some of you came here with an idea of who you wanted to be, while others, it was a process of self-discovery. Today, at the end of it all, we know you chose to spend your time here at the University of Guelph, and we chose you. You became part of our campus and community through learning and connecting, by cheering and working, and today, by graduating. How you choose to spend your time now is full of possibilities. You came to the University of Guelph to get future ready, and as a graduate, as alumni, this place will always be here to remind you of who you were and who you are today.
What you just saw captures the heart of your time here at Guelph. Not just the big milestones, but the ordinary days that became extraordinary days because of the special people that you shared them with. And here's what I hope you carry with you. You chose the University of Guelph, and we chose you. You didn't just learn here, you lived here. You built community, challenged norms, and you brought this campus to life. No matter where your path leads from here, the University of Guelph is part of your story now, and you will always be a part of our story. As you embark on your new journey, remember that you have the power to shape the future and to contribute to a better, more just and sustainable world. The world needs your talent, your energy, and your compassion. We are incredibly proud of all of you, and we eagerly await the remarkable achievements you will accomplish in the years to come. We are very excited for your future and know that the University of Guelph will always be your home. Congratulations, class of 2025.
So just just a quick announcement on how the final stages of convocation are going to go momentarily. In a moment, I'm going to invite our bagpiper, Barry, front and center. He's going to start playing those beautiful bagpipes and escort our platform party out of the convocation hall. Traditionally, our new grads would leave right after the platform party to the bagpipe music, but we're not going to do that this year. We're going to do something a little different, so grads stick back and I'll explain what that is after the platform party leaves. After that, after the grads leave, I know friends and family, the instinct is going to be to just get up and try and get out of here as quickly as possible because the ceremony's been so short, but please just stick with me for another 2 minutes here. I promise you, I will help you get where you need to go. If you rush out of here, I can almost guarantee you're going to end up at a locked door and not at the reception. So stick with me for 2 minutes and I will tell you where you're going and we'll dismiss in phases so we're not tripping all over each other. Okay? So with that, we'll invite Barry front and center. When you hear that bagpipe music, I'm going to ask everyone to stand. But we do have a tradition here at the University of Guelph, and that is that the final word on convocation shall always come from our Chancellor.
This convocation ceremony is concluded.
Convocation is concluded.